need to show how good they are when they have a lot of suspensions. They will need to show that they can do it at this time, not only with their main player, let's say. This will be the test for them. They will have to maintain their form at this time.
Right, let me tell you the results also. Geisha and Ittihad ended up in the favor of Geish 1-0. Ahli and Masri drew 1-1. Ismaili and Gona, Ismaili managed to win 2-1. MP won Zamalek 3-1. Petrojet won Smoha 1-0. And a draw between Arab Contractors and Haras Al Hudud. And finally Police Union and Wadi Degla 3-2. And Masal Maqassa and Military Production and Tag Al Harbi. It was a 2-1 in the favor of Military Production. Now let's move on to a report about this historic win for MP against Zamalek. It was a 3-1 historic victory. It's the first
ever win for MP against Zamalek.
Win for MP, and it put their hopes up high. And we'll see that right after this report about this one. Welcome back, and that was a report about MP's historic win over, or victory over MP over Zamalek 3-1. So starting with this match in specific, Hussam Hassan is now conceding a number of, or losing some points to the Egyptian Premier League, and I think this was a shocker for him. It's the first loss.
Yes, he actually, Zamalek played a very good match against Petrojet, and they won 2-0. And I think all the fans and the players thought that this was the start for them to get back on track and start a big winning streak. And they had a good start against MP as well. They scored an early goal, had some good chances. But then once MP equalized, this was not... MP started playing better, they started to be calmer, and the Zamalek players were very clearly under a lot of pressure. Then they conceded the second goal, and then it was the end for them. They couldn't come back. Hussam Hassan made a lot of changes, substitutions, bringing on strikers Ahmed Ghaffar and Ahmed Mohammed, the Iraqi player, but they couldn't help the team. Nor Hazim Imam as well, he came on as a sub. They couldn't help the team, and it's the first defeat for them. So they have to come back on track. They have to solve the team problems. The defense problems, maybe some problems in the midfield. So they have to increase their attacking ability. They have some good players up front. They have Amr Zaki and Abu Kone, plus Ahmed Ghaffar and Shikabala as well, a great player. We all know him. So they need to improve in the next few matches to have a chance of winning the league, as they were hoping, the fans and the players. So
let me share with you what Hussam Hassan, the Zamalek's coach, mentioned after. Because you're laughing because it's usually fun statements. So what he said is that he's still working on the psychological factor because this team got used to defeats in recent years. So some players have a problem with confidence even when they are in front. So how could a coach be saying such comments on his...
I think the problem with Hussam is...
Getting used to defeats?
Yes, he's not backing the players. I'll give you an example of Jose Mourinho, the ex-Inter Milan coach and the now Real Madrid coach. He's always backing his players. Whenever they play bad, he comes to the media and tells them, don't talk to the players, don't tell them anything, just speak to me, and I'll defend my players. So he seems to be backing the players. They have confidence in their coach. They know he can defend them. He can say what's wrong and what's right. But Hussam Hassan doesn't back the players, and this decreases the confidence and does not help the team in the coming matches. So I think what Hussam has to do is that find the problems in the teams and maybe give some more backing to the players and give them confidence and make them believe they can win the league and they can win matches and they can have a good streak. This is what he needs to do with the team.
So what he said is that he indicated that he could do nothing about the lack of spirit that the players had. So just the opposite of what you said, supporting them and backing up the players. But he said he can do nothing about it. So is this a correct statement?
At times, many players are having a bad day. This is true. They can have a bad day, many players, not only one or two players. But a good coach has to have his role in the match, whether making tactical changes or substitutions. But Hussam seemed to be helpless on the bench in the last match. Maybe he has a point that some of his players weren't at their best, but he has to improve the tactics of the team as well. And he has to show in the next few matches that he can get his team back on track.
So, but on the other side, MP's ambitions flew up in the sky, and the assistant manager Mahmoud Saleh, he mentioned that this big win is a message for all that their ambitions are as far as winning the league title. So, do you think is it a little bit early to have such ambitions, or they already have these ambitions and this is why they had a good game with Zamalek?
It's very early to say, as we were saying at the start. But beating Zamalek, always Zamalek or Ahli, the big teams, boosts the players and gives them a lot of confidence. So if they can use this victory and get a streak of 4 or 5 wins in the next few matches, they can be a contender. But as we were saying, the league is a 30 match league. It's not a 3 or 4 or even 10 matches league. So you have to sustain your form throughout the league. And MP have a very good thing that their coach is the same as last year's, Bulgarian Maldinov. So this helps. He knows the players, he knows the league, he knows his oppositions. So this helps the team. Many of the teams, as you know, have new coaches. So this is a big plus for MP this season.
Do you have any worries that this could be a start of a series of failures or losses for Zamalek?
I think Hossam Hassan can get his team back on track, but he needs to work a lot. He needs to get his players away, the problems away from the players, make them focus on the pitch, and then he can get back on track. Zamalek, remember, they have a lot of very good players up front and on the back. They only need a little bit of work, solve maybe the problems out of the field, and Zamalek will be good contenders for the league this season.
So the coming match is Ismaili versus Zamalek. Ismaili will be having this sort of preparations on the African competition, the African Champions League, and Zamalek is coming out from a loss, desperate to have those 3 points. Ismaili is also focusing big time on both competitions, having a low chance and low probability of winning the African Champions League or qualifying to the semi-finals, but also looking at the 3 consecutive wins and trying to maintain that.
This is true, really, but the point is that this match has been postponed due to Ismaili's match in the African Champions League. So it will be actually played within 2 months. So maybe at the time, the situation will not be the same. Both teams would have played more matches. So it's something good for Zamalek, who maybe if they would have played Ismaili now, would have not got a result, with their team not in the best shape and Ismaili at their highest. So maybe when the match will be played in a period of time, things will have changed. And this is for the good of Zamalek.
Yes, this is definitely in favor. Moving on to another match, which was a very good performance from Al Masri against Ahli, which ended in a draw 1-1. Ahli were held to a home draw of 1-1, like we've seen 2 days back. Do you think the performance of Ahli, you mentioned the focus for the African Champions League, do you think the performance is enough for the coming match on Sunday?
Well, it's very strange, Al Ahli's performances this season. They have a galacticos of stars. They've brought in Shawqi this season, they've brought in Hussam Ghali, they've brought in Giddo as well. So it is very strange the way they have been performing. Even their wins against Ismaili, it was a last-minute win. And against Shorta, it was a goal in the first minute, and that was it, and they couldn't score again. You know, Al Ahli is only the second from last highest scoring team in the league. So this is not the figure for Al Ahli.
Yes.
The second worst scoring team in the league right now out of 16 teams. So Al Ahli, you don't know what is happening. The team is not getting well together. They have good stars, but they are not showing what they should be showing. So maybe the Champions League is something that is not helping them at the moment. It's making them needing to field a different team in the league than in the Champions League. But they will have to focus. They have a very, very important match in 3 days' time against Shabib Al Qabail. It's a must-win match for them. And then